Mm, Looks like three, two, one, we're live. Hey, Internet friends, this is Magic Brad, Synergy Cafe Online, and I'm here with a friend of mine that also lives in Asheville, and it's kind of chilly out here. And we're going to do another interview here, and her name is Nicole. Nicole, are you there?
I am. Hello.
How do you pronounce your last name?
D'Ippolito. D'Ippolito Lindsey.
I see. It's got that hyphenated stuff and all that. It's sometimes kind of hard to find you on the internet.
Yes, yes.
But I did, didn't I?
You did. You found me.
So I explained a little bit of how we do these interviews, and I try and again keep them kind of short so that people get a chance to watch the whole thing through and get educated and get some information. And I start off with who, what, where, when, how, and why, and then we get into some information that you might want to share. So the first thing is, who is Nicole? We got your name. You live in Asheville, but can you tell us some more about who's Nicole?
Sure, sure. I am a chiropractor. I've been practicing in Asheville for almost 15 years now. Originally came from New Jersey and did chiropractic school in Atlanta, Georgia, and then made my way to these beautiful, beautiful mountains of North Carolina. And I have a wellness practice and just recently integrated physical therapy in. So that makes us the first uh, chiropractic and physical therapy integrated office in Asheville. I am married to the physical therapist, and I have a daughter who's 9 and a little dog named Rio.
That's the stuff I was getting at, the actual personal stuff. So you're a human being and you have a spouse and you have a kid and you have a pet. So it's nice to know those kind of things that when you meet people that are successful, that you probably have some challenges at times balancing the family life with the business life and all that kind of stuff. And that's good to know those things.
I don't know what you're talking about balancing that life.
Oh, yes, you do. Okay, so the next question is you kind of talked a little bit about it, is the what. What is it that you do in your profession? And you said chiropractic, but I know that chiropractic is a lot more advanced or there's a lot more to it than just cracking bones, right? So what else,
Yeah.
what do you do at your
Yeah,
business?
it's funny. When I first heard about chiropractic as a teenager, I thought it was just cracking necks and backs, just like most everybody. But fortunately, I had a really good chiropractor when I was 18 years old, and he educated me. He told me that chiropractic care works on the human body, the nervous system, the brain, and the spinal cord. And that is your hard drive. That is the body's hard drive that controls every system, cell, organ of the body. And without that working properly, our bodies cannot be healthy. And it made sense to me. And I thought, well, this sounds kind of important. I think I should try this out. And I had really severe allergies my whole life, on allergy shots and sick and on medication all the time. And my allergies disappeared that I had my whole life. It didn't happen right away, but after going for several months, my immune system got stronger, and I realized, hey, there's something to this. And I realized through that chiropractic cares a lot more than cracking backs and necks. So that's what I do in my office. I take a whole body approach to healthcare in a natural way, and I try and help people avoid medication or get off of them, or decrease the amount that they're on, and show them the natural ways that they can be healthy inside and out.
Yeah, the body needs to, the energy needs to flow through the system, and if there's a block in it, of course, there's going to be some discomfort, and it's going to get to be worse and worse. That's makes total sense, and a lot of people just don't realize that. And instead of getting something fixed, they end up taking a Tylenol. Now my headache is gone, and that's not. I don't take any pills or anything. Okay, so the next question after the what is it? Where do you do this? You obviously probably have a studio? I mean, I don't know. You can do remote chiropractic. I don't know if you can do that online via Skype or anything like that. Well, maybe you could. Maybe you could teach people how to stretch and stuff. So I guess maybe you could. So there's the question. Where do you do it?
Yeah, well, I practice hands-on chiropractic, so I don't think there's a way I can do that through the internet yet. But I certainly can educate, and I'm working more and more towards that, creating more live webinars and teaching patients as much as I can so that they can be healthy. But my practice is in South Asheville on Hendersonville Road, near Biltmore Forest, 1089 Hendersonville Road. I have a practice where we uh, offer chiropractic adjustments, we do physical therapy, exercises, stretches, we do nutritional counseling, cleansing programs, weight loss programs, massage therapy, and anti-aging facial and body sculpting. So again, we offer a lot of services to help the body naturally.
Wow. Um, when you're talking about that not being able to do things remotely, but I've seen people that do stuff with their neck and they crack it like that, and I was like, dirt, dirt. Is that good for them, or they probably shouldn't be doing that?
Do not try this at home, folks. It's funny because I used to do a lot of talks in schools and educate children about backpack safety and spinal posture and alignment. And inevitably, I'd get a child in the crowd, excuse me, but my dad takes my mom and does this, and a loud noise comes out. Is that okay? And my answer was always, is your dad a chiropractor? No? Okay. It is not okay. We practice. We have hours and hours and hours of hands-on practice in chiropractic school. We start our first year in chiropractic school is you have to go 4 years for a bachelor's degree and then 4 years chiropractic school. So we are hands on for about 3.5 years, wrenching each other, making lots of mistakes and hurting each other to learn how to do it properly. So I do not recommend adjusting yourself. You can really injure your soft tissue and make more problems for yourself later on.
Good point. I just like I said, I see people doing that stuff all the time, and I kind of went cracking their knuckles and all that stuff. So next question is when? When do you have like regular office hours, or are you like a chiropractor on call with a pager or something like that, or do you have when do you do these?
I have to see people before work, after work, and during their lunch hour. So we are Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Until 6 o'clock. So we are available most of the time, and we have a very accommodating schedule so that we can get folks in uh, around their schedule.
Okay, so you do have regular office hours, and I suppose that after hours you might go out and do seminars and things like that. Is
Oh,
that
absolutely. I love to educate. That is right up there with adjusting for me. I love to teach people how to be healthy. That excites me. So, yes, absolutely. I'm always available to do talks and health fairs, and I'm always willing to come out, even on the weekend, evenings when I'm not in the office, and educate.
okay? The next question here is how, and like I've been to chiropractors before, and the first thing is you do an admissions form. You fill out a little thing, a little with your name, address, phone number, all that kind of stuff. And do you have a unique type of process of how you go about your services?
Yeah, sure. I thoroughly interview the patient. I am not only interested in what brings them in, most of the time somebody comes in with a headache or neck pain, and they neglect to tell me everything else that's going on with them. But what we know in natural healthcare is that everything's connected. And although you may not think that your digestion trouble is related to your lower back pain, it certainly can be. So I have to dig deep. When a patient comes in, they will fill out information. We bring them back, they meet with me one on one, and we really start going through the body systems, what's going on. I also want to know what their goals are. What do they want to accomplish? Is it just to get out of pain, or is it to be able to run their first half marathon in 6 months? I need to know that so that I can help that person get there. And then based on that, we'll then do a thorough exam, checking their range of motion, their posture, weight balance. We may take x-rays. We may set them up for an appointment with our physical therapist as well, or suggest that they get a brain map to look at their brain waves. and then we will report back to them this information, and then they decide what they want to do as far as their care, and that's how we do it.
Wow, that's interesting to know that because some people think, okay, this is what you do. You fill a little form, they come in, you get on this little bench, and they crack you, and then you go home. So it's good to know that you take it a step further to find out what a person's goals and aspirations and objectives are, because you're right, maybe they are getting ready for a marathon, and if you didn't know, you couldn't really help. So, okay, this is my favorite question, and this is the question of why. I like to ask people why they do what they do. Why are you not a painter or a barber or a cook or a barista? How come you're a chiropractor? Why do you do what you do?
Well, this is probably my favorite question to be asked because I love what I do. I couldn't imagine doing anything else, and I'm so fortunate that I was um, brought into this profession. I, again, was sick growing up as a child, and I only knew medicine. My parents were kind of raised in that medicine cabinet like most Americans, and when something's wrong, you get a drug, you get a shot, you get a pill, you go to the MD. And that's what they did. And they weren't doing anything, to hurt me or anything wrong. That's just what we did, Western medicine. Well, once I learned about chiropractic, right about that time, I had been struggling with what direction, what path I was going to take in life. And I knew I wanted to be in healthcare. I wanted to help people. And I thought that pharmacy would be a really good profession to be in. Not too much, with bodily fluids or blood, or, it's very clean. So that would be safe. But I had something happen in my life at that time that changed my direction. And I had a really good friend have breathing problems playing basketball. And everybody steered him to his medical doctor because that's what we did. We were all born in that medicine cabinet, and that's what we did. And he went to his MD, and he was told he had asthma, and used this inhaler, and he did. And 2 hours later, he went to a pulmonary arrest, a cardiac arrest, and he died. He had an allergic reaction to the asthma inhaler. And that event, it changed my life. I'm one of these people that things happen for a reason. And I really believe that from that point forward, I started to really examine my life, drugs and medication, and do I want to do this for a living? And why did this person have to die? And it just that was the time I met that chiropractor. I got under chiropractic care, and it changed my life. And I realized this is what I want to do. The light bulb went off. I want to help people know that there are options before they use that inhaler. Why don't you go to the chiropractor and see if you knock some ribs out of alignment while playing basketball, and that's affecting your breathing? And you know what? I help people every day with those problems. And I think to myself almost daily, I wonder if my friend had seen a chiropractor, would he still be here today? I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm here to educate, to teach, to help so that people know their options and they can get well.
It seems like almost every interview that I do, I've done quite a few now. That why question is always back to helping people, and it's interesting that some people have to sacrifice sometimes their life for someone like you to change your path and do chiropractic to help other people. Just curiously, what did you do before you were interested in chiropractic? What did you do for work?
I was in college at the time, so I was pursuing a career in healthcare. I always worked for medical doctors, and I was always involved in healthcare. So I worked as a pharmacy tech right when this was happening and was pursuing pharmacy.
Hmm,
So,
interesting.
yeah, imagine getting that phone call, my parents when they got the phone call. I've enrolled into chiropractic school, and I'm not going to pharmacy school now. I'm going to be a chiropractor. They thought I was crazy, but I think it
Yeah,
turned out all right.
a lot of people end up doing that kind of thing. They went to college and all of a sudden they end up being a stand-up comedian or something. They
Right.
go a different direction because that's where they're guided. So to close this up before we leave, I like to find out if you have any upcoming projects and make sure we get your web links. Because what I do with these videos is I put them out with web links that connect back to you so people can find you, and then I propagate it all through the internet. And that's how we do this at Synergy Cafe, where a rising tide lifts all boats. Whoop. So right now I'm doing this out, it's kind of cool. I'm able to do this out in the nature, and I'm out on my deck. So is there anything else that you have that that you got coming up? Do you have any workshops, or you got any plans for creating anything in the future that you might want to express before we let the people go?
Sure. We have we try and do monthly workshops in the office. I am moving them more towards webinars so you don't have to be in Asheville, North Carolina to get the information. Um, but we do have one coming up in the office, and I will be recording that so that we can put it live. But it's our Clear Mind workshop, which is about neurofeedback, regulating brain waves to help problems like anxiety, depression, insomnia, ADD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So we'll be going into details on that and how that specifically works with regulating the brain waves and giving real resolution to these problems. So that will be August 12th, Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, 6 to 6:30. We'll be live in my office, and we will then post that to my website. My website is backinbalancewnc.com.
Okay, WNC is Western North Carolina, right?
Yes, sir.
See, I'm from Minnesota originally, and I get down here, I got to learn these things. So back in balance, WNC, Western North Carolina. Put that in your brain. Okay, well, that kind of concludes this interview on Synergy Cafe, and I appreciate you for taking your time. If you want to hang on after this, we'll chat a little bit further on online here. But thank you very much, Nicole, for sharing your knowledge, experience, and wisdom with the people out there listening.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
And that's it for today. Peace, love, and happiness. People, enjoy your lives. Keep yourself healthy. It's important so you can have fun. Bye.